Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law Classes. मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है. Today in this video we are going to discuss the important news from the Hindu edition of 28th April 2023. Let's start with the news. The first is ties depend on peace on border Rajnath Singh to China. So we already know, we have done this news before also, that the SCO Defense Ministers Meet is going to take place, where the SCO members including China, Russia, Pakistan and the 4 Central Asian countries except Turkmenistan is going to participate. Now, before the SCO Defense Ministers Meet, there was a meeting between Rajnath Singh, who is our Raksha Mantri, Defense Minister, and Li Shangfu, who is the Defense Minister of China. So this is the first very high level talk since the Galwan Valley clash in April 2020. So here our defense minister has emphasized that there has been a violation of existing agreement which has eroded the entire basis of bilateral relations. Okay, so if you will see that here defense minister he has emphasized that development of India-China ties is premised on the prevalence of peace and tranquility at the borders. तो यहाँ पे बॉर्डर एरिया पे पीस एंड ट्रैंक्विलिटी हैज बीन डिस्कस्ड एंड एज अ प्री रिक्विजिट फॉर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप इन अदर एरियाज. ना यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि जो ये बात हुई है इट हैज कम एट अ वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट टाइम व्हेन the 18th commander level talk or 18th round of corps commander level talk has taken place. Earlier we discussed to resolve the standoff between the PLA, that is People's Liberation Army, and Indian Army. But these talks they remain inconclusive. खास करके why these talks are inconclusive, because two areas are there from where India wants the disengagement of China, but China says that it is a legacy issue. So these two areas are Demchuk एंड देपसांग. ठीक है, तो डिसएंगेजमेंट जो है वो बहुत सारे एरिया से हो चुकी है, जैसे गोगरा हॉट स्प्रिंग एरिया से हो चुकी है, गालवान से हो चुकी है, पैंगोंग सो के साउथ बैंक से हो चुकी है. ओके, बट दिस टू एरियाज स्टिल अ मेजर पॉइंट ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज द 18th कमांडर लेवल टॉक. दिस टुक प्लेस एट चुशुल मोल्दो बॉर्डर. ओके, Chushu Moldo sector on Chinese side. Okay, fine. Now let's see some other background news important between India and China. The first is LAC, that is line of actual control. So what is the length of line of actual control? Okay, so around 3,488 kilometer, which is divided into several sectors, that is eastern sector, मिडल सेक्टर एंड वेस्टर्न सेक्टर. ठीक है, वेस्टर्न सेक्टर में आपका लद्दाख आ जाता है, मिडल सेक्टर में आपका हिमाचल प्रदेश एंड उत्तराखंड आ जाता है, फिर ईस्टर्न सेक्टर में आपका सिक्किम और अरुणाचल प्रदेश आ जाता है. अभी कुछ दिन पहले अरुणाचल प्रदेश में भी PLA ट्राइड टू कम इनसाइड द इंडियन एरिया, दैट वाज इन Yangtze sector. The next is Vibrant Village program. So now Vibrant Village program has been launched to improve the border security in 4 areas and 1 union territories. These 4 areas are the states which are along the India-China border. तो सिक्किम हो गया, अरुणाचल प्रदेश हो गया, हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड and 1 union territory of Ladakh, consisting of 2967 villages in 19 districts. Okay, so the goal of Vibrant Village program is to stop the migration of people from these border villages by providing them basic infrastructure and helping to improve the security in this region. The next is central government de-recognizes 2 postal unions. So यहाँ पे the Union Ministry of Communication, they have taken the decision based on Central Civil Services Recognition of Service Association Rules 1993 and complaints filed by Bharatiya Postal Employees Association affiliated with Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh. So these 2 postal unions are All India Postal Employees Union and National Federation of Postal Employees. जो reasons हैं for de-recognition, that is making contribution to farmers protest, then center of Indian trade unions, इन दोनों को contribute करना, and buying books from the CPIM office in Delhi. Now about the Dantewada, where Maoists have attacked the convoy, security convoy, which was returning from the patrol. So here we will see that this IED it was planted a day or two before according to police. So हम पहले से ही जानते हैं कि that this explosion created a crater and it took place very near to police station. Now coming to this mindless violence. So here we are again talking about Dantewada, ठीक है, which comes in Bastar range of Chhattisgarh. बस्तर रेंज ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़. सो यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे 2 साल पहले, ठीक है, यूनियन होम मिनिस्टर अमित शाह ने कहा था कि दैट मॉइस्ट का जो इन्फ्लुएंस है इट हैज़ reduced from 96 districts in 10 states in 2010 to just 41 by late 2021. फाइन. सो यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे दैट द पीपल हु आर ऑब्जर्विंग द मॉइस्ट इंसर्जेंसी closely, they have found that they are still active in South Bastar, Andhra Odisha border, and in some districts of Jharkhand. So these are the regions which are still where Maoists have influence, they have hold. Fine. Now if you will see the killing which took place in Chhattisgarh, so यहाँ पे जो था डिस्ट्रिक्ट रिजर्व गार्ड टीम ऑफ छत्तीसगढ़ पुलिस, so the persons were killed, they were returning from regular patrol, so they were killed. Now there are fact that this 10 personnel they were returning from a counter insurgency operations that they had conducted on a tip off. So यहाँ पे क्या है कि जो मॉइस्ट अटैक हुआ उसके बाद, तो इनका मतलब मॉइस्ट को पता था कि दैट द डिस्ट्रिक्ट रिजर्व गार्ड टीम हैज गॉन फॉर द counter insurgency operations and then they attacked the police. So it is called as intelligence failure. Okay, which brings loopholes in the counter-insurgency operations in moist area. Fine. So यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे that now it is incumbent upon the government to investigate the incident, find out where the things are missing, find out the loopholes, find out which moist cadre is responsible for the attack, and then bring them to the justice. अब जो moist है, why they are successful in their attacks? Because they attack in guerrilla warfare. Okay, तो गुरिल्ला बेस्ड मूवमेंट भी इनकी होती है. ओके, विच इज़ थ्रू रिमोट एंड इनएक्सेसिबल फॉरेस्टेड टेरेन ऑफ सेंट्रल इंडिया एंड विच इज़ होम टू द ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज. ओके, उसके बाद अगर आप सेकंड अगर देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे टेरेन एंड टोपोग्राफी दे आर acting as the obstacles in defeating the Maoist in South Basta. That is the second reason. The third reason is the alienation of section of tribals who are caught in the crossfire between security forces and Maoist. तो जैसे कि आपने बहुत सारे मूवीज में भी देखा होगा कि जो ट्राइबल पीपल हैं, ठीक है, सो नाउ दे आर कॉट बिटवीन टू, दैट इज मॉइस्ट एंड सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस. ठीक है, मॉइस्ट एंड सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि अगर उन्होंने इन्हें हेल्प नहीं किया तो ये इनको मारेंगे, अगर इन्होंने हेल्प नहीं किया तो ये इनको तंग करेंगे. ओके, सो यहाँ पे व्हाट इज द वे आउट? द वे आउट इज कि जो मॉइस्ट को जो सपोर्ट, अगर लोकल जो सपोर्ट है उसको खींचना. इट मीन्स दैट गवर्नमेंट मस्ट कंटिन्यू टू ट्राई टू विन द सपोर्ट एंड कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ ट्राइबल पीपल ऑफ साउथ बस्तर, विच इज द सोरेस्ट वे ऑफ डिफीटिंग द मॉइस्ट इंसर्जेंसी. द नेक्स्ट इज शुड इंडिया कंसिडर फेजिंग आउट न्यूक्लियर पावर. ओके, तो हमने लाइन से देखिए क्या क्या डिस्कस किया है अभी तक न्यूक्लियर पावर के बारे में. एक तो चेरनोबिल न्यूक्लियर डिजास्टर, ठीक है, ये हमने डिस्कस किया था. चेरनोबिल न्यूक्लियर डिजास्टर, फुकुशिमा डिजास्टर के साथ इसका जो स्केल है लेवल ऑफ डिजास्टर का वो 7 है. देन वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट जैतापुर न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट. So this Jaitapur nuclear power plant which is in Ratnagiri district. And then we also discussed about Convention on Supplementary Compensation CSC and India's Civil Nuclear Liability Law, where it also talks about supplier liability. Okay, supplier liability. So now this supplier liability, which is the part of India's civil nuclear liability law, which is not mentioned in Convention on Supplementary Compensation. So this has become problem for many foreign suppliers of nuclear power equipment to supply their equipments to India, because in the event of failure they will be held liable because the operators in India, they have been given the right to recourse under the civil nuclear liability law. Now यहाँ पे now we are discussing that अब इन बैकग्राउंड में अब एक नया आर्टिकल आया है that should India consider phasing out nuclear power. ओके सो यहाँ पे ये हम बात इसके लिए भी कर रहे हैं क्योंकि जर्मनी हैज़ बिकम द लेटेस्ट कंट्री to phase out nuclear power from its country. But if you will see many other countries like Japan, South Korea, even China, USA, etc., they are increasing their share of nuclear power. So if you will see over here that South Korea, new president, he has changed the energy policy and he has committed to increase the share of nuclear power in the country's energy mix to 30% by 2030. Japan, which was closing down its nuclear reactor after Fukushima nuclear disaster in 2011, now they are restarting their nuclear reactor. Fine. अब यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि यूनाइटेड किंगडम जो है it has said that without scaling up nuclear power it won't be possible to decarbonize the electricity sector. क्योंकि देखिए सबके ऊपर एक प्रेशर है कि that to become net zero carbon emitter by 2050, जो टारगेट इंडिया ने रखा है अपने लिए 2070. So if we want to move out from coal, okay, so we want the electricity sector to be replaced by the that sector which can provide reliable power supply. ठीक है ना. तो यहाँ पे जो प्रॉब्लम है वो है reliable power supply का, reliable power supply. तो इसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. देखिए yes, there is a debate going on that why not to replace solar and wind from nuclear. तो न्यूक्लियर को हम रिप्लेस करते हैं और फोकस हम किस पे करेंगे, सोलार और विंड पे. But the problem with solar and wind is कि यहाँ पे जो है फ्लक्चुएशन बहुत ज़्यादा है. ठीक है, फ्लक्चुएशन बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो यहाँ पे नेक्स्ट अल्टरनेटिव क्या हुआ, ऑब्वियसली न्यूक्लियर पावर. न्यूक्लियर पावर, दिस बिकम्स द नेक्स्ट अल्टरनेटिव. द नेक्स्ट इज दैट अगर हम लाइफ साइकिल कॉस्ट देखें न्यूक्लियर पावर का तो वो ऑब्वियसली बहुत कम है. उसके बाद अगर हम देखें कि एक न्यूक्लियर पावर को रन करने के लिए हमें कितना फ्यूल चाहिए होता है. सो इफ यू विल सी ओवर हियर that one of the things that we have to realize is that what is the amount that we are actually talking about. So if we look at a plant like Kudankulam which is in Tamil Nadu, for operating one of this unit, एक यूनिट को ऑपरेट करने के लिए okay, we require 1000 megawatt at 90% payload plant load factor. मतलब कि एक यूनिट जो है वो प्रोड्यूस कितना कर रहा है, 1000 मेगावाट एट 90% प्लांट लोड फैक्टर. तो उसको एक साल में चाहिए 25 टन ऑफ लो एनरिच यूरेनियम फ्यूल. मतलब इसकी एनरिचमेंट सिर्फ 5% हुई है. दैट इज द थिंग. अगर हम इसको कोल से देखें तो कोल कितना चाहिए होगा हमको, 5 मिलियन टन ऑफ कोल टू प्रोड्यूस 1000 मेगावाट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी विच विल ऑल्सो प्रोड्यूस एश. नाउ दिस एश it contains heavy metals which are detrimental to the water source. The next is nuclear liability. Regarding nuclear liability, so it is not money but that the supplier of the components of the nuclear plant is exposed to various liability including criminal liability. This is something which is not acceptable to Western company. This is the only problem in India's nuclear energy journey. Okay, now the next is that what about hydropower, कि हम हाइड्रो पावर को भी तो यहाँ पे ला सकते हैं. सो देयर इज अ limit to growth potential of hydropower in India because of conserving the biodiversity. Then जब भी हम hydropower generate करते हैं so there is a submergence of area, so the population which are going to be affected by that they have to be rehabilitated. So there is cost of rehabilitation and compensating the landowners. उसके बाद there is a seismological factors in Himalayas. You must have seen that recently we read about the sinking of Joshimath. Okay, sinking of Joshimath. So one of the reason for sinking of Joshimath has been attributed to construction of dams near the town. Okay, उसके बाद अगर हम देखेंगे that India has got 210 gigawatt of coal capacity which produces 73% of electricity of India. और जो न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी का कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है it is just around 3.2%. तो यहाँ पे many people feel that one of the major reason is that all the 22 nuclear reactors in India, they are the monopoly of National Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL. तो यहाँ पे हम प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स को भी ला सकते हैं to start commissioning the nuclear power plant in India. सो यहाँ पे है कि दैट वी नीड समथिंग लाइक 100 गीगावाट बाय 2050, ओके, in nuclear energy to replace the coal. The next is text and context, that is the threat of rising sea levels. So यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे तो rising sea level तो एक रिपोर्ट है, that is State of the Global Climate 2022. This is the report which has been released by World Meteorological Organization. So it has said that there is an accelerating sea level rise which is being witnessed, and there is record-breaking increase in concentration of greenhouse gases, glacier loss, drought-like conditions in East Africa, rainfall in Pakistan, and unprecedented heat waves that has struck Europe and China in 2022. इसका मतलब that we are already seeing the impact of climate change. Now यहाँ पे जो ये दिख रहा है, जो बता रहा है, वो बता रहा है sea level के बारे में. Fine. So if you will see the sea level, so let's come to the picture that sea level could hit 2 meters by 2100. ये सेंचुरी खत्म होते होते sea level will rise by 2 meters. ठीक है, जो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. 2 meters जो होगा मतलब बहुत सारे कोस्टल एरियाज जो हैं वो डूब जाएंगे. It will replace almost 200 million people. फाइन. तो यहाँ पे देखिए डिफरेंट एरिया में कितने लोग इम्पैक्ट होंगे वो बताया है. तो इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट कहाँ पे होगा? जस्ट सी वेयर द इंडिया लाइज, दैट इज साउथ एशिया. हियर द डिस्प्लेसमेंट विल बी ऑफ 57 मिलियन पीपल, फॉलोड बाय ईस्ट एशिया, साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. तो इसका वो बहुत ज़्यादा जो फर्क दिख रहा है वो एशियन कंट्रीज़ में दिख रहा है. ठीक है, उसके बाद यू कैन सी मेडिटेरेनियन में 8 मिलियन, अफ्रीका में 9 मिलियन, 16.5 इन नॉर्थ एंड वेस्ट यूरोप, नॉर्थ अमेरिका में 13 मिलियन, साउथ अमेरिका में 8.5, then here 1.5 million. But if you just see the contribution of Asia, so it is like 57, 35, 33. तो टोटल अगर हम एशिया की बात करें तो ये कुछ हो जाता है अराउंड करीब 125 मिलियन पीपल विल बी इम्पैक्टेड. तो यहाँ पे टोटल इम्पैक्ट कितना होने वाला है? 200 मिलियन, और मोर देन 50% विल बी इन एशिया alone. Fine. Now it says that if global temperature increases, stays below 2 degrees Celsius, which is the target set by Paris Climate Agreement on average, so melting ice sheets will contribute 26 centimeter of sea level rise by 2100. Then यहाँ पर आप worst case scenario देखेंगे that 5% chance that contribution could be as much as 80 centimeter. Fine. So rise could also exceed 1 meter if other factors like melting glaciers and expansion of ocean water also takes place. The next is that if temperature increase is by 5 degrees Celsius, मतलब जो current trajectory है, तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि in best scenario sea level will rise by 51 centimeter by 2100, and in the worst case it will be above 2 meter, flooding around 1.8 million square kilometer area or 1.2% of global land area, displacing 187 million people. तो यहाँ पे जो कम्युनिटी इम्पैक्ट होगी सबसे ज़्यादा, ऑब्वियसली दैट विल बी कोस्टल कम्युनिटी विच विल बी इम्पैक्टेड द वर्स्ट. अब हम देखते हैं कि सी लेवल राइज, देखिए राइज कितना हुआ है. तो इफ यू विल सी द सी लेवल हैज बीन राइजिंग इन द 3 decades फॉर विच सैटेलाइट altimeter data is available. So if you will see that between 1993-2002 the sea level rose by 2.27 mm per year, and now it has increased to 4.62 mm per year in 2013-22. Now we will see that since the lives of coastal communities, their economic activities is tied with coastal ecosystem, so any change in this will endanger the socio-economic stability of these communities like fishing communities, etc. The next is India sent third ship INS Tarkash to Port Sudan for evacuating citizens. So we are discussing about Operation Kaveri, where India is aiming to evacuate its 3000 citizens from Sudan. So ऑपरेशन कावेरी में 2 एयरक्राफ्ट हैं C-130J जो जेद्दा में रखे गए हैं, और अब 3 शिप्स हो चुकी हैं, INS सुमेधा, INS तेग, and now it is INS Tarkash, okay, which are evacuating the Indian citizens from there. The next is Dimasa rebel group signs peace pact with center and Assam government. So असम का एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है डीमा हसाओ डिस्ट्रिक्ट, देयर यू विल गेट डिमासा नेशनल लिबरेशन आर्मी और डिमासा पीपल सुप्रीम काउंसिल. So they have signed a peace agreement with state government of Assam and union government in presence of Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. So under this agreement, now Assam will have no more armed groups and there will be complete end to insurgency. अब इसके अंदर डिसाइड क्या हुआ है that the DNLA will give up violence, surrender including the surrender of arms and ammunition, disband their armed organization, vacate all camps occupied by DNLA and join the mainstream. Fine. तो यहाँ पे 168 आर्म कार्डर्स जो है DNLA का, they will surrender with their weapons and they will join the mainstream. Then इनके वेलफेयर के लिए अब देखिए क्या किया गया है. So Dimasa Welfare Council will be set up by the Assam government to protect, preserve and promote social, cultural and linguistic identity to meet their aspirations. The next is there will be a commission under this paragraph 14 of the 6th schedule of the constitution to examine the demand for the inclusion of additional villages in the North Chachar Hill Autonomous Council. Fine. Then there will be a special development package of rupees 500 crore each, which will be provided by Indian government and Assam government for a period of 5 years for all-round development of North Chachar Hill Autonomous Council and Dimasa people. The next is about defense. So यहाँ पे आर्मी कमांडर्स कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ लास्ट वीक. नाउ दे हैव टेकन several important decisions. First is to operationalize command cyber operations and support wings. In immediate future, the current focus will be on net-centric operations. Then they will convert the 5-year technical entry scheme into 4 years. Then training the motivated soldiers for Paralympic events. Then double the sustenance allowance to specially abled children of personnel killed in the line of duty through Army General Insurance Fund. Okay, so यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे जो पहला डिसीजन है about cyber operations and support wing command, so it will lead to expansion of cyber warfare capabilities. Okay, so this is very important to safeguard the network and increase the preparedness level in the cyber domain. उसके बाद जो 5-year technical entry scheme था, okay, so it was for officers entry as BTech graduate and it is placed in since 1999. यहाँ पर जो training होती थी वो officers training academy गया में होता था, followed by 3 years BTech degree at the cadet training wings and 1 year at the 3 engineering colleges of the army, that is College of Military Engineering Pune, Military College of Telecommunication Engineering Mau and Military College of Mechanical and Electronics Engineering at Secunderabad. Now it will follow 3+1 model with 3 years devoted to technical training followed by 1 year of basic military training at IMA Dehradun. The next is legendary US talk show host Jerry Springer dies at age 79. So यहाँ पे this is the one liner that Jerry Springer is from which field. So he was the talk show host and he has died at the age of 79. The next is Ukraine has received 1,550 armored vehicles, 230 tanks from NATO. Again, human rights abuse, US sanctions ex-Navy official of Sri Lanka. तो यहाँ पे बस नाम याद रखिएगा. That is, US has sanctioned former senior Sri Lankan Navy commander Vasanta Karnagoda for gross violation of human rights during the brutal conflict with the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. The next is there is a UK government में एक रिपोर्ट आया है, रिव्यू पैनल ने रिपोर्ट सबमिट किया है UK गवर्नमेंट को to probe Khalistani extremism. So if you will see over here the report, it says that there is a need to clearly define and investigate extremist activity within the Sikh community and develop a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of subversive and sectarian activity. ठीक है, तो हम लोग पहले भी पढ़ा था कि प्रो खालिस्तानी मूवमेंट एक बार हुआ था, तो वहाँ पे जो इंडियन हाई कमीशन है वहाँ पे जो इंडियन नेशनल फ्लैग है उसको नीचे उतार दिया गया था. ओके, सो देयर इज डिप्लोमेटिक टेंशन ऑफ गोइंग ऑन बिटवीन यूके एंड इंडिया. उसके बाद ये रिपोर्ट इट ऑल्सो टॉक्स अबाउट स्मॉल माइनॉरिटीज ऑफ ब्रिटिश हिंदूज who are becoming more passionate about their identification with Hindu political interest in India in contrast to earlier generations. So they say that they have given the examples, okay, where there was a tension in 2019 UK general election and tension between Hindus and Muslims in Leicester in September 2022. The next is Sharif secures vote of confidence in Pakistan National Assembly. So Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, he has secured a vote of confidence from the National Assembly with 180 lawmakers expressing full confidence. The next is from sports. So Priyanshu, he has won the boys 1500 meter gold, and Rahul silver at the 5th Asian Youth Athletics Championship held in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. Then India also has won 2 bronze medals, where Aarti in girls 5 kilometer walk and Mubasina Mohammed in long jump. They have also won the bronze medal. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.